At this moment, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce one of the participants who will be fighting on the co-main event. His record is 25-1 with 19 knockouts. He is from Brandywine, Maryland. He's a former standout at Michigan State University, where he was a linebacker, and obviously found his calling. And he has became relatively quickly one of the fighters in the heavyweight division to bring back excitement to the heavyweight division here in the United States. He is no stranger to Atlantic City. The fans there love him. He brings an exciting style. He's a puncher who definitely brings a lot to the table when it comes to excitement. Let me introduce to you Seth Mitchell.
Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that. First and foremost, I'd like to say Happy New Year's to everybody that's listening on the call. And I want to thank my promotional company, Golden Boy. I want to thank my team, Al Heyman, HBO, and for just providing me with this opportunity again. I also want to thank Jonathan Banks for accepting the rematch and fighting me again. It was a tough defeat for me, mentally and physically. I was fine right after the fight, but just, experiencing, that first loss, it was a tough pill to swallow. But, I tell people it's a gift and a curse. I've only been in the game for actually yesterday was 6 years altogether, amateur and pro. So I'm learning on the job, but I'm a quick learner, and I definitely learned a lot from that fight. And a lot of people, they said, Emanuel Stewart had a lot to do with the fight and things of that nature. I don't really look too much in that, because I said, if I went out there and if I'd have blown Jonathan Banks out in the first round, people would have said, well, he had a lot on his plate and things of that nature. So, I learned a lot. I'm excited for this fight. I've been, in training camp basically since December. I've been training, so I'm very focused for the fight. Again, I want to thank Jonathan for accepting the fight, and I'm definitely looking forward to the fight. Looking forward to a different. I tell people it's the same time. We're fighting at the same time, same venue, same opponent, different outcome this time. So I'm definitely looking forward to putting on another great fight for the fans, and I'm excited.
So now it is my pleasure to introduce to you who will introduce Jonathan Banks. He is the managing director of K2 Promotions, to introduce his fighter, Tom Loeffler.
What Jonathan accomplished in that fight with training Vladimir Klitschko the week before, and then going through the funeral services of Emanuel Stewart, and then coming back and having his win on HBO against Seth Mitchell was a tremendous accomplishment. So, we're looking forward to the rematch. I'd like to, at this point, introduce Banks. He's rated number 3 right now in the WBC and number 5 in the WBO. American heavyweights right now, Jonathan Banks.
Thanks a lot, Tom. First of all, I want to say hello to everybody that's on the call, and I look forward to the fight February 7th, on HBO. I look forward to the rematch. As always, my hat continuously goes off to Seth Mitchell, because he always show a lot of character, which is something I personally admire in fighters, because a lot of fighters don't do that. So I personally just want to take my hat off to him as always. And I know he's going to come back stronger. I know he's going to come back even more prepared than the first time. And I'm just looking forward to a good competitive fight.
And we'll go with our first question, and that comes from Gene Wong with the Washington Post.
Hey, can you just kind of give us an idea what you learned from the last fight against Jonathan Banks, and what you want to do differently this time to get a different outcome?
We had a great game plan going into the fight, but as I watched the rematch, as I watched the fight tape, even though I hands down I won the first round, my balance and my distance was terrible, in that fight, and I got a little, overzealous, too, audacious. So I just, patience, and I'm definitely working on my balance and my distance, and it's just a learning process. But I'm a sponge, man, and it was a learning lesson. Sometimes you got to get knocked down, to grow. In my case, you got to get knocked down 3 times, and it's like I said, it was a tough pill to swallow, but it's definitely made me a better fighter. And we've just been working on my eyes and my balance and my distance, and just not being so aggressive. Naturally, if you know me, when it comes to competing, I'm a pit bull. I'm very aggressive, but I just got to learn how to channel that and use it and do it at the right time.
Our next question comes from Dan Raphael with ESPN.
Okay, and I just have a question for John. John, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, John, good to talk to you.
Hey, Dan.
Question for you about the fight. Now, you won the fight. It was a resounding victory. You score a bunch of knockdowns and stop a highly touted guy in the second round. It's pretty definitive. So my question for you is, but after scoring such a big victory, are you a little disappointed maybe that you have to go back in with him as opposed to moving on to something bigger and better?
You said, am I disappointed? I definitely wanted to move on to something different, or I wouldn't say bigger or better of any kind, but I would have wanted to move on to something different. But I mean, you got to go with what the paper what's in black and white, and that's what he chose to exercise the rematch clause. That's what he wanted, so that's what we're gonna do. I mean, I think that's I can't stop taking my hat off to the dude, because I would have did the same thing if I was in his position. He's a true fighter in heart, and that's what fighters do. So I wasn't shocked about it, but I thought I would have been doing something different. But I wasn't shocked. I wasn't. It didn't totally shock me, because I knew going into the fight, I knew what type of guy I was facing. I knew I was facing an extremely relentless dude that was coming straight forward. That was coming for a victory. No matter how he's gonna get it, I knew he was coming for that. So I wasn't surprised that he wanted that.
Our next question comes from Bob Bellin with USA Today.
Pretty
Seth,
good.
got a question for you here. How difficult has it been to recharge your battery since the loss? Since a loss that can be described as stunning, no less. Was it tough for you to get back in the gym, and have you worked harder than you did before, or have you pretty much been the same?
It wasn't hard at all. I've been the 8th of this month has been 6 years total that I've been boxing, and I've never been out of the gym longer than three weeks. And so we fought November 17th. I was back in the gym on December 1st. I was back in the gym training. I hadn't started like a training camp yet. I start my training camp usually about 2 months out. But I never underestimate any opponent before I get into the ring, and I'm always in shape when I get into the ring. So as far as me training, harder, and as far as balance and things of that nature. So we've really been focusing on that. But been getting good work and just learning, man. Like I said, I definitely learned a lot from this fight, and I think the people and the fans, they'll see a better Seth come the 16th of February.